Hello, everybody. So we're in that final stretch. We are in week 5. And so I am so excited to talk about this week because this week is a very important week. I know I said that in week 2, but week 5 is also a very important week. This is the week that we're going to be talking about what it takes to hire staff. I also have a onboarding workshop that I also have that you can purchase, and it will come with the binder, and it teaches you how to do the 90-day onboarding. So again, if you don't know anything about me, I'm Dr. Cortisha Cowan, also known as the Business Birthday Coach, aka the Childcare Boss, and I'm here to help you and support you and guide you into opening your childcare center. So again, thank you for joining me tonight. Again, we are on week 5 on hiring a staff. What does that look like? When you get to this part of your child care center, this is a very important part. Why? Because these people will be a part of not only your tribe in your child care center, but they're going to also be there for the children. Okay. So you have to make sure that you go through a 90-day onboarding with them. Do not just find someone that has the qualifications and throw them into a classroom. You need to do a high quality onboarding. You have to walk them through a certain process. I know for me, with my child care center, my 90-day onboarding was not just me doing all the talking, but it was allowing that staff member to also tell me how they are taking on their role in that classroom. So you want to make sure when you're doing the onboarding, it's not just about you. It's about you and about them, okay? So here's some of the things that I want you to understand when it's time to hire staff. Understanding the importance of staff, having a staff. I just kind of said that. You want to make sure that it's somebody that goes along with your mission and your vision, that also fits the criteria of you as an individual and what it is that you want for your program, and not just to hire them because they straight out of high school. And in most states you can hire somebody right out of high school with a high school diploma or GED, and then they also have to just be 18 and older. In some states you can even have 16-year-olds for camp during the summer months, but then you also can make sure that they have their first aid and CPR, their health and safety, their orientation, and then a physical. So to me, that's not enough. I don't want you just to have those things. I want this to be something that's embedded in you. You have known or seen in your mind or have envisioned working in or with children, not just in a child care center. Maybe you work with them at church. Maybe you babysit over the summer. I want it to be embedded in you. The goal is not to just hire people based off of, oh, they can qualify because of this. Because yes, in child care, getting teachers is a big turnover. But what I could say about my centers, because they were like family and I treated them as such when I hired them, my staff was not a turnover, nor was my children. When they were in my kindergarten room, or if they were in my baby room, they made it all the way to my kindergarten room. So you also want to make an environment that wants to keep the families coming and that wants to keep your staff. So defining the staffing needs. Don't just hire because you have a hole in the infant room. Sometimes you have to just be that teacher until you can hire the right person. Do not just go out here and get anybody. If I would tell you anything, hire the right staff, including those that are doing a home child care center. You have to have a backup person as a somebody that could step in when you got to go to the dentist or the doctor, or maybe you woke up sick one morning but you don't want to close the center at home. That's when your emergency person can step in. Make sure that person believes in your mission, your vision. They understand the role that you are trying to set at your child care center. They understand what it is that you actually want to do in that home-based center. So even for you guys that are doing home-based child care centers, that 911 person you need, that backup person you need, make sure that is somebody that lives, eat, and breathes your mission statement just like you. Someone that wants to continue to see you thrive. Those are the people that you need. Your recruitment. I tell people, when you go out here, even when you have like job fairs, or sometimes I used to go to the hospitals and set up tables at the hospitals for my child care center, just to try to get some of those parents that work at the hospitals. You also want to use that time to recruit. Maybe that's somebody that's in the health field that's ready to switch over into the childcare industry. Well, you know they must love patients. You know they must love serving others, or they wouldn't be working at the hospital. So making sure even when you're out recruiting for candidates, that you make sure that they align with your mission and your vision. Just don't go out here and hire anybody, guys, because it will make or break your center. Number 5, when I talk about the interview, when you interview, I have a 90-day onboarding, and I promise you this step-by-step onboarding process works. They will, and you will find the right person if you use this onboarding. Everybody doesn't have a 90-day onboarding process for childcare centers. I just think that it's critical in that you need it. So again, if you want to know more information about how to do a 90-day onboarding, I have a video on that, and I also have a binder or the documents that goes with that. And again, that's what number 6 is. It's talking about the onboarding, the training for new staff. You want to do the onboarding at the beginning, but you also want to do it for the next 90 days. Then after that, you want to have like a 6-month and a 1-year review. And then what does that ongoing training looks like for a new staff and the staff that you currently have. You know, when you're coming up on their 1 year, there's certain things that they supposed to still go back into their professional portal and do. So you want to make sure that you have those things as well. Making sure that they are going to foster positivity in the workplace, but also you as the owner and the other staff members are also fostering a positive work environment as well. It's not just for the new staff members. They should already be coming into a positive work environment. So again, these are the 7 pillars that I use when it comes to getting a new staff member, but making sure that that staff member is aligned with your mission and your vision when you hire them, okay? And then again, we're still talking about the hiring of the staff. The orientation process is the most important. In most states, they have what we call the teacher orientation that the state makes you do with your staff. So I always have them do it before the hiring date or their first day of hiring. They walk through, they see the facility, they get to know or talk to all the rest of the teachers, and then the rest of that afternoon I have them actually sitting on site at the center to do their center orientation, because in most states they have a center orientation that has to be done. So understanding what that looks like, and that's why I have it as number 1, understanding the appointments of the staff hiring when it comes to developing them, understanding who they are, letting them know the policies and procedures and the roles, and then doing that center orientation. And then number 2, we talked about that a little more, defining the staff needs. What is it that the staff need? What is it that you need at your center? Do the staff know how to do curriculum? Do they know the ratios for your state? What do they do if they're out of ratio? All of those things you need to be asking them during that hiring process. Some people, I have seen other centers that is like really, really behind on having staff. So they would throw these women into these classrooms, and some of them do not have any idea on the roles and responsibilities for that center. So that's number 3, the development in the job description, making sure that they understand, having the experience and the knowledge and the skills to run your classroom, because you can't be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you want to make sure that you're hiring the right people so that the center can still operate and run even if you're not there. Making sure that your policies and procedures are accurate enough for them to know what to do. But you definitely want, in that first 90 days, them to be understanding all of the different roles inside the classroom, sometimes how they have to go out of the classroom. You also want to teach them how to open and close, because you never know, you might need to use a closer for opener, and you might need to use an opener for a closing one day. So you need to teach them the entire role of working at the child care center. I do have at least 3 people on staff that are childcare teachers, but that also have their health certificate in case they ever have to step into the food role and help with like the cafeteria or things like that, or even do a snack run for me. I want to make sure that they understand what a healthy snack is and what a healthy lunch is, and what healthy breakfasts are. So I do have a few people in the classroom that actually knows how to do the health part of the child care center. And so that's something you don't have to do, but I definitely did it. And then the stuff that's on here, I also send you a form in the email. So in your email, you should have received this 5-day checklist, this week 5 checklist of everything that needs to be done properly to hire a staff member. But again, like I said, you want to make sure that that staff member is off of your mission and your vision. Okay, you want to make sure that they are aligned with your mission and your vision for your child care center. And then we talked about the recruitment, what that looks like, how to get a candidate, job posting, networking, referrals. I love going to job fairs. So even getting somebody that's willing to either act as an ambassador for your child care center, and then they go to like some of these job fairs and things like that to kind of get your name out there. Even if you're not hiring at that moment, it is really good to show up at some of these job fairs or to have a table at some of these job fairs, especially some of the open houses at the local schools and things like that, because you want to make sure that you're keeping your name out there, because you just never know when you need it, right? Number 5, the interview processing, making sure again that during this interview they understand the structure of the classroom, making sure that you have the right type of questions to ask. If you are opening for the first time and you don't really know what to ask, you can also email me and reach back out to me or my team, and somebody would help you understand what that role is. But again, if you purchase the 90-day onboarding, you will automatically get the form that I use when I'm doing an interview to hire on teachers. So again, if you don't know because it's your first time, or if you're doing a home daycare center, again, you still need a backup staff member. You want to make sure that you have these interview questions to be able to ask them those, okay? And then number 6, that's just me going back into what I said. We have to have the staff onboarding and development, okay? So we don't go through this strategically all together. We can meet one-on-one. If you have any other questions outside of this training, then we can get together and I will work with you. Most of you have already hired me as your child care consultant and your child care coach, so I'm already talking to you about these things in between these workshops that we are doing as a group. So again, just letting you understand that to me, the most important thing that you can do with a staff member is have that onboarding process. And if you do not know how that looks like, let's talk and we can chat offline so I can help you. And then number 7, again, fostering that positive work environment. You want to make sure that the team collaborates, that you have the professional growth, that the people that you are hiring understands that they are important to you, that they look up to you as the owner. And so you want to make sure that you are giving them everything that they need to be successful. Don't just throw these women into these classrooms or these gentlemen into these classrooms, y'all, and think that they're supposed to know what to do, because every child care center has its own environment. Every child care center has its own culture. So even though we all may be using the same rules and regulations from the state, depending on the state that you're in, all the child care centers around you are using those same rules and regulations, but the fostering, the culture, the background is not going to be the same. So do not hire this staff and think that they're supposed to run the same. For an example, I was just at a meeting the other day for a college, and we were sitting in, I'm on an advisory board, and we were sitting in the meeting, and one of the nurses was saying she don't really like hiring people who say that they work somewhere else and this is how we did it. Well, this is how we did it. Well, this is how we did it. Everybody has a different environment. So when they come into your environment, the last thing they want you to do is throw them into that space and think that they're supposed to know exactly what to do. Because how Suzanne had her center may not be how Tish had her center. Okay, and vice versa. How I have my center, Suzanne may not have had her center like that. So you cannot bring them in and think that they should already know what to do in your child care center. Like I use a color-coded binder system. Some people don't use binders in their classroom. Some just use clipboards. I do, because there's certain things that I have in each binder, and there's a binder per child, right? So, and then there's what we call the emergency binder. So you grab that binder when it's time to do a fire inspection, or it's time to do a fire drill or tornado drill. It's a certain binder of the classroom that you grab, and that's the binder we take with us on the outside to be able to have all the emergency contact for the children. So my stuff is so color coded that I may be a little more organized than a different center. So you don't know what that looks like. My breaks might be, I break different than some other centers, okay? Because in most of the centers, because you got teachers that break each other, I so love for my staff to get to know one another that sometimes I will go in myself, even if I'm not on site and I hired an administrator. They will tell you, Tish is coming in, and oh my God, me and Sharon get to go to break together today. I will come in and break that room together at the same time. And then when I come back, I am assuming, and in most centers, I don't see it, but I do allow them to use the rest of that time while those kids are napping. They are getting their lesson plans ready for the next week. They're talking to one another about that. They are cleaning up the classroom. They are getting the kids' clothes and stuff ready. They are putting out snacks for when they wake up. There's so many things that they do, but if they can thrive together, most of the time it'll work. And I'm not saying in every environment you can let each person break at the same time, but at least once a month I try to go in to allow my team to break together so that they'll come back at the same time as well. And there's always another person on site that if kids start to wake up, that I will be able to have somebody in that room to help me. So you won't catch us out of ratio, but I also want you to understand that just small little things like that, or ordering in lunch and allowing each room to break together so that they can still eat together. I do that as well. So you got to find some different things that you can do with your actual center to make them feel welcome, to make them feel a part of the team. I don't like to call them staff. I like to call them my tribe or my team. So that's what I do, is just giving a different, even just using a different word, fostering a different word for your staff can make the work culture feel so much better. So again, these are the 7 things that I think is very, very important when it comes to hiring a staff. Okay. And so again, in week 5, we kind of just went through what onboarding looks like, just took you through a bit of the knowledge of the tools and the type of different things I did to make my staff feel welcomed and to be a part of something, what the dedication is, what it should look like for you when you're onboarding your staff. But the biggest thing that I can tell you is making sure that when you hire someone, that they fit your mission and your vision, that they thrive. You can thrive off of each other. When I hire somebody, I want to make sure that we can be able to bounce ideas off of each other, because she might have some things that she could do in that classroom that I never even thought about. But as long as it's aligned with the culture of the center and it's aligned with the rules and regulations, go for it. But they won't know if you don't understand what the team building looks like. Okay, if you don't understand what that looks like for you to be able to allow them to also utilize the school and utilize that room for themselves. Okay, so again, making sure that you're able to offer this environment, like this environment has to be where they love waking up and going to work. Okay, no one wants to wake up and put on scrubs and be like, oh my God, I gotta go into work today, it's gonna be so stressful, I know such and such gonna end up calling off. Like, I don't want people to have that type of energy in the morning when they first wake up on their way to your job, on their way to somewhere they're supposed to love being. Okay, because if they don't love being there, or they don't love even getting up and coming to work, you're not going to get the best of them. So looking at your staff as your tribe, as a team, so that you can really foster in the culture that you're trying to bring in. And for me, like I said, ours is called the Childcare Bawse University, because Bawse for me is we build together, we activate, we have wisdom, we understand one another, we try to use wisdom in everything. We serve our families, we serve our staff, we serve each other. And we just learn what that looks like, and then execute whatever we come up with, whatever plan we have, whatever we're trying to do for that month. Let's just execute that thing out. So you would never see us say we're boss, like we're just too good for one another. No, when you see us say Childcare Bawse, you're going to know that that childcare person, that person that is in that industry, has somehow linked arms with Coach Tish, and she's learned how to build, she's learned how to activate, she's learned how to have wisdom and discernment on things, she's learned how to serve, and she's learned how to execute. That's what this is all about when it's for me, okay? And so we do have the Childcare Bawse University, but we also have a Childcare Bawse tribe. You can find us on Facebook under the Childcare Bawse University and under the Childcare Bawse tribe. In a couple months, we will be launching the Childcare Bawse membership, where you can be a part of a group of women that all they are is in the childcare industry. But also, I get on and I teach you different things to keep your center going, adding on new things if you're having a hiccup, or if you just need me to coach you through something, or just to talk through something on a monthly basis. We are creating a tribe of women that is in the childcare industry, so that we can bounce ideas off of one another. Because as they said when we were young, it takes a village to raise a child. That's the same for a childcare center. It takes a village of childcare owners and childcare teachers to bounce off of ideas off of one another and help each other grow. This is not a place of competition. This is a place of collaboration. And if you're in the childcare industry and you're coming in with the thoughts of being better and bigger than somebody else, you're in the wrong industry in the first place. Because it's about the family, it's about the children, it's about the community, and it's about teaming up together. So again, thank you for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions, please email me. I will be sending this out to you again as a recording, but also you will have the form that goes with it, just kind of some of the notes that I jotted down to send to you to go with this. And again, thank you for choosing the Childcare Bawse University and choosing myself, the Childcare Bawse. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all back for week 6 to finish up where we are. And again, some of you are already has already hired me as your coach. And also, if you have not set up your 1-hour coaching call with me, remember that's a free 1-hour coaching call that you got for purchasing this 6-week training on how to become a childcare owner. So get with us. Email me if you need anything in any time that you need anything. Just email me. Sorry, it's been a long day, and I'm trying to finish this up with you guys tonight. But again, thank you for joining tonight, and I will see you guys later. After this 6-week training, it will also go live. All of the whole 6 weeks will go live on May 28th on my birthday. It will be live on YouTube. So if you need to go back and watch this at a later date, it will be live for you or anybody else that you know in the childcare industry that want to learn just a little bit about how to be a childcare boss. Thank you. Have a good night, ladies.